Good morning. All right. Is this thing on? It is on. It's morning. Like I did most of the edit last night, and now we're gonna finish it up. So we don't have a beer of the video. Like it's coffee time, you know. Gotta start the day off with Mickey. You know why? Some mornings are rough. Today's not too bad though. Feeling pretty good. Hey, what do we got? What do we got? We have finally, the Ishod yeah. We got his review. We got the review of the board. It's not a review because I don't do reviews. You get my experience with the board, good, bad, indifferent. This is the summer board that you guys set up for me. So it's been 78 days since I built that board till yesterday or this morning. And yesterday was the last day I skated it. So excited to bring this to you. Gonna show you the board. Remind you of the build. Gonna show you some sessions. Look, I don't have a lot of tricks. But hopefully you can see over a 78-day period kind of like how I throw things around on this board, how I chose to ride it. And then I'm going to nerd out a little bit at the end on some setup stuff. So if you're interested in that, man, watch the video, right? You're already here. We're drinking coffee. We're communicating. We're buddies now, right? Stick around. Enjoy this game. Like, tons of people have done reviews on this board. Tons of awesome skaters have done reviews on this board. That ain't me. But I promise you this, it's going to be a good time. All right, let's start the video. And 1, 2, 3. All right, here is the board. Look at that. Butterfly graphics, so sick. 8.25 Ishod twin tail, symmetrical in shape, medium concave. It's got it's 32 inches long, and it's got a 14.38 wheelbase truck to truck. Now we're going to talk about that a little bit later. And I'm running some 54 millimeter orbs wheels on there, a little cloud pattern. Really like it. And then the Indy Reynolds 144s. And it's just a good looking board. I love the fact that the graphic is symmetrical as well, and it just looks good. It's a pretty board. You know, we buy these wonderful pretty boards and then we just go destroy them. I mean, they are just straight disposable art. And there's me flexing with my board. All right, so of course we're just gonna start off with a little flat ground. All right, little ollie, just trying to get a feel for the board. This is the parking lot directly above the Rowan skate park in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I do a lot of flat ground up here because oddly we have this super sick park and there's not a lot of room for flat ground if there's people at the park. Like if you're going to skate flat ground, you're going to be in the way of the quarters and the boxes and everything else coming up. So I just like to go up in this parking lot and fake my faking big spins. Faking big spins again. I just can't get them around. Someday. And then some fakey ollies. So like twin tail, right? Symmetrical. Benefit would be going all directions. I thought shove-its was like the best benefit, and tail slides and nose slides because it's the same tail. So here I'm trying to get front shoves for the first time. You guys saw a front shove in the Powell flight deck video I did. I did this one first. I skated 3 other boards while I was skating this board. I don't know why, but front shove has been a battle for me for 3 years. I've just never really put time in. I've beaten myself up over it, and finally I said, you know what, this board feels good, I'm gonna get it. And there it is. Pretty excited about that. So I kept putting a little work in it because one doesn't count, right? So had to put a couple in and see if I could figure out a little toe tapping on that one. And have trouble like controlling my body once I land because I lean back to do it. Like I'm purposely like leaning back as I go for it. and that one wasn't too bad. You know, we're getting a little progress on the front shoves. All right, here's a little nose slide. All right, you're gonna see a lot of nose slides in this video because for the last 78 days, like that's what I've been working on. Like I could go out and learn a million tricks, not a million tricks. I could go out and learn some tricks and do them once and completely suck at them. I prefer to go put some work in on some tricks and try and get good at it so I can put them in lines and get something out of it. Here's Mike, my boy. We were out there. I brought the rail to the park one day, and we just kind of had a little session on it. Mike got his before I got mine, and this dude was just crushing it. He was gnarly. Super motivated guy. You'll see more from him in a bit. Getting it. I think we're on the medium setting right there. I think this is the high setting. The high setting is actually easy for me. Oh look, I did land that. He walked in front of it, but I landed it. And yeah, the element bar is pretty cool. I don't pull it out very often, but I'm glad I have it, and it's cool. It's just getting it. Yeah, here we go. Boom. Oh, he gets it. And then yeah, I come off the higher elevation, the highest level, better than I do the shorter one. Look at that. This dude's got so much style. And then we put it like in a down rail, and for some reason I struggled with it.
My job to motivate, self-educate, self-medicate.
Whoa, careful on the self-medicating there. All right, but I get it. It's got good energy.
Getting close.
Getting close. All right, that last one I did wasn't even on the Ishod. It was on my Chris Miller welcome. All right, back to some nose slides. Like here's the cool part about having a symmetrical board. Like you just play the board where it lies. Like whatever way you're going, you just grab it and you just go, and you wear out everything evenly. And I'll show you that at the end where we are on the board. On the equal distribution of wear, so definitely a plus on this board. And then my obligatory 50-50, it rode up on that one a little bit, and that was good. Still don't have any tricks out of 50-50s, but I feel like I'm getting a little 5-0, getting into them a little more comfortably. A little heel flip, which is going to lead, I keep skipping back and forth, to future tricks in combos, I think. Back to the front shove. Not front shove, slappy front side nose slide. Still, you know, this was all part of the learning process that you've seen in some of the other videos with other boards. But I was constantly working on the Ishod board with these same tricks. There's a little to fakie without the slide, and then it's our little board slide. I couldn't, man. This box is high and good, but it's really short, and I have trouble adjusting my body weight quick enough to get things going. Little shovey shove. Like I'm saying, like I think the twin tail action's like perfect for things like shoving back and forth, or just not worrying about what side of the board you're on. Like you save tons of time. It seems crazy, but imagine getting into a batter's box like a baseball player, right? They tap their cap, they tighten their gloves, they do all the weird things they do before they swing. We do the same thing as skateboarders. Now take that away. Take away all the things you do before you start your trick. It's pretty crazy. This curved ledge still being the death of me. I don't know. I struggle with it. I'll figure it out someday. Yeah, I lose speed or I don't lock it in. It's not super high, and I kind of have to calibrate my ollie to get it right, and then a little more flat ground. Man, I just like doing shove-its, you know. I'm sure if I could do a million flip tricks, I would, but I can't. So I do a lot of shove-its, and this board's solid for that. Let's see, what are we doing? Oh, nollie shove. Not pretty, but we got it. Back to the front shove. Like super glad I started to learn this and get this down. Like this is the trick I think I can get out of the 50-50 if I can get the confidence to have it on lock. And then there's the little nose slide to the bank. There's the park. I want to skate that hip in the background. I don't know if you saw that. You can rewind 10 seconds, check out that hip. Here, watch this one. This is pretty good. I think I get like the whole thing here. It ain't pretty, but we got it. We got it. Love it. Back to the front. I'm wearing the Charlie Brown shirt, which really is fitting to my level of skating. I'm the Charlie Brown of YouTube skaters, but everyone loves Charlie Brown, right? We'll see. We'll see. Leave in the comments if you like Charlie Brown. Yeah, it's good to get the front shove, I feel like. Not front shove, the front side nose slide. Like, that's a big trick for me. Back to the 50. You can see like I'm getting up there more comfortable without like over popping. Oh, another heel flip. Shove on the bank. Like, man, we skateboarding over here. Getting some skateboarding in. It's pretty awesome. Look at that. Oh, kind of want to say to it then. I like that clip. It's a good camera angle. This is a new camera angle too. I like that. Thought that looked pretty good. Yeah. Fisheye. Look at that. That just looks good. Just good video. Get a little 50. And to the front side. See, I'm doing the same things over and over again because I'm trying to build this consistency. But here, I went back yesterday. This is yesterday. I wanted to try and get nose grinds. Like, I really want nose grinds. And I thought, today's the day. And this is the best I got. Just dropped it at the end there, right? But man, I feel like we're on the right track. Now, this is one spot I would say that maybe the Twin Tail's not the best because it has such a flat nose that there's not a lot to get that nose grind balance point, right? So that's the one spot I would want to not work on, but as I transition to another board with a real nose on it, I'm going to think more about getting some nose grinds. All right, so let's nerd out a little bit, right? So first of all, here's the current shape the board's in. Here's the tail. You can tell it's not really razor-tailed. It's not really razor-tailed, but the paint's a little worn. Butterfly still in good shape, and I promise you 1 million nose slides. We're done on this. I've said 1 million a lot in this video. Just a couple board slides, and here's the other side. You can tell equally worn. Like, look at that. The board's in good shape. I'd like to point out that I kept it in my car the whole time in North Carolina in the summer, and it held up pretty good. It held up pretty good in the heat. See, look, pretty evenly worn. I went out of my way not to pick a side. When you guys built the board, I put the fresh bushings in it, so like the trucks were essentially brand new and even on both sides. Got a little bit of truck wear here. So I don't normally ride indies. I'm not a big indie guy. I'm much more of a thunder guy. I'm gonna adjust the camera here because I want to nerd out with you guys a little bit. All right, you ready? I'm gonna adjust the camera. Stand by. Okay, that should be enough. Sorry if I'm in the shadows, but I'm not important here. This is what's important here. All right. So it says it's a 14.38, or excuse me, yeah, it's 14, what did it say? Yeah, 14.38 wheelbase, right? So let me get my fingers out of the way. You can kind of see that is, or yeah, 13.38 wheelbase. And you can see that's true. That is what it is, right? But that's truck to truck, right? Truck base to truck base. But what if we changed our mind that your wheelbase was really axle to axle, right? Because the geometry of the truck and the kingpin is going to change the angle that the truck is at. So this is really at a 17.25 is the actual wheelbase. Different way of thinking, but there's a 1/2 inch difference between axle to axle between Indy and Thunder. 1/2 inch. That's quite a bit. So, I don't know. Very interesting to me. Also, let's see if we can do this. All right, move my coffee cup. Scoot this back down. I'm going to bring this down a little bit so you can see some stuff, all right? All right, so, bet you're loving this filming. It's dope, right? Turn this on. All right, this is a digital angle measure tool. I'm going to zero it out best I can. All right, it's at 0.9, so I'm going to have to subtract 0.9, right? So this is what I'm working on. 33.5 degrees. That is the angle of pop on this board between the truck, wheel, and tail. I think that's interesting because I'm very comfortable popping at this angle. So my last board that I was comfortable with was 35 degrees, right? So it seems, let me zero it out again. I got a -3. 35. 0.1 minus 3, or 0.3, somewhere in 34. All right. So that's interesting to me. Because is it my table? So I actually put this on my table and it's 0 and 0 on both sides. There's a slight difference in the angle at pop on the twin tail. But I do know that I am very comfortable between roughly a 34 degree angle of pop. If I know that, like that's how my leg wants to move, right? When I pop, and then in the future when I go to set up boards, regardless of the shape of the board, the tail, whatever, I can put the right truck and wheel combo on it to get it roughly to that 34 degree point. I think that's interesting, and I'm going to try it on future boards. Maybe I'll try one that's not super comfortable, like a 38, and see how that does, and then go back to the 34. I like trying all the different stuff. Like that's part of this adventure. So anyway, that's a bunch of nerdy stuff. I'm not going to edit that and make it look clean. You're gonna get that for what it is. But anyway, finally, 78 days later, the summer setup is done. I definitely have tons of stuff, new stuff to ride in the future. But the next videos is going to be to help new skaters. Like if you're new and thinking about skating, or maybe you don't skate and you want to get your kids aboard and you're not sure how to make that initial investment, because like a normal setup for me costs between like $220 and $260. But I went out and I found 5 complete skateboards, all under $127 with all name brand components. And I'm gonna ride them all, and I'm gonna review them all for you, so you can make that best decision for you or your family come this Christmas to get them a solid setup. Because if you buy a board that doesn't perform the way it's supposed to, it can become frustrating and take away from the joy of skating. So anyway, that's what's coming up. Plus, who knows what I'll ride in between, because man, you know me, I like trying new stuff. Okay, we're at 18 minutes or so. That's long. I apologize, but 78 days of skating. Every free moment I had put into this board, and we're sliding around on the nose, and we're shoveling. I'm cool with that. I'm 44. I'm just happy to be here. All right. Have a great day. Stay rad. Be safe, and go do something rad. Coffee.